To the educational from the Successful Club series. It's an 8 to 10 minute speech. Stefan Labuschagne, who's doing his path presentation mastery, has to be the evaluator. Stefan, can you give us the highlights of the speech that you'll be looking for, please?
I've got just give me a second.
No worries.
I've got a guide here, but
we're demoting Stefan from sergeant to corporal
how to
for the short delay.
So basically it's informing the club or about the purpose, the Successful Club series, and being a Toastmaster and getting to your DTM, the path that you the journey that you go. And some points here is how effective was the speaker's introduction in helping the audience understand the purpose of the Successful Club series. What was they adequately prepared? How did the speaker's vocal variety enhance the presentation? And then you look at other techniques that the speaker applied in order to get the message over that there's basically a bigger structure of the Successful Club series and how everything fits together and how you eventually get to your DTM.
Fantastic. That's the first 3 minutes of your time, Pieter. The introduction from Stefan taken care of.
That's how I understand.
Thank you, Stefan.
That's how I
appreciate
understand
you.
it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very excited to hear from Pieter Roos. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Just remove the data, please. Sorry.
You see, I don't use these a lot anymore. I'm allergic to PowerPoint. You're to my germs. When you look at Akali Simbini, or one of our many great sprinters, we're actually going through quite a period with our athletics at the moment. You don't see how many times he came 7th or 8th, didn't make the cut, didn't make the event. He doesn't tell you that. So when he runs across the finish line, doesn't say, "Oh, guess what, guys? I've been failing all week. Guess what? I've been failing for years. But tonight, thank goodness, it's a success." When I walk up here, I don't say, "Darn, I spilled coffee all over my shirt," because what's the thing you're going to fixate on all evening? It's a coffee stain in my shirt. Chances are you wouldn't even see it if I didn't mention it. So when I look at this event tonight, I came here, I thought to myself, I think this is well organized. We've got a sleeve here and chocolates, and I've never seen this packaged so nicely. Everybody's here. This looks quite good. And then every second person says, "Today is such a failure. We messed up. You know, it's a miracle we're all here." And we pulled this together. So it's a tip from my side. People remember the things you tell them, the negatives. The positives don't stick. The fact that we all got a chocolate, the fact that we're all here tonight, the fact that we're actually enjoying ourselves, that's not the thing I'm taking away. I'm going to take away how difficult it was to bring this event together. And in your pathways you select, and in your growth that you will experience through joining this club, as I have for the past year and a half, there will be many things that go wrong. There will be many evenings when we don't get the sequence right. And Zuko will say, "Thank goodness Lynette isn't here because I'm going to mess up." But if you point out your failures to people, that's what sticks. And on a great evening like tonight, that's one of the things I want you to take away. But I'm still in the green. Let me use this thing, since practice took a lot of effort to set up. How many of you have registered for one pathway? How many are on 2 pathways? How many are on more than 2 pathways? So that's the one thing I learned is it's useful to be on more than one pathways, because when Nancy comes and she says our goal is to have 3 people pass level 2 and 5 doing level 5 and 3 on level 17 and whatever the case might be, she knows how that stuff works, then you've got options. If you've got more than one pathway and the club needs people to complete level 2, you can revert back to another pathway and say, let me complete this because that will actually get us to the club level we want to be on. So in selecting your pathways, and we can discuss this afterwards because I see Zianda's puzzled by what I've just said. I actually bought two at the discount, 2 additional pathways when the discount was there. Think about that and think about your strategy. So when we talk about strategy and when you fill out your form that you give back to Nancy, think about that. There are 6 pathways. There's dynamic leadership, which I haven't seen. I suppose there's another one. Why did it say 6 and only 5? Dynamic leadership, engaging humour, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, and presentation mastery. I'll start with presentation mastery because that sounded more closely aligned to what I wanted to achieve. And I'm messing up something there. Because I'm doing something wrong. Sorry. Up and down. I don't know. How to get that? Sorry. Oh, there we go. I'll figure it out. Machine. At last. See, I can program these things. I can't operate PowerPoint. So 6 paths, 5 core competencies we're working on, and you need to pick out what it is you want to develop. I'm not going to go through them bullet by bullet. The point is, you need to know why you're doing this and what you want to achieve, and we'll come back to that in the end. Basecamp, for those of you who've logged on to the Toastmasters application, that's where all this comes together, and that's where you need to log your progress. So hopefully we're all making Nancy's life easier by logging it, and by making sure that what's on the form tonight is also what you've recorded in Basecamp, because that's the only way of tracking where we are and reporting back. So when Zuko says, Nancy, how are we doing in terms of our goals? She logs into Basecamp and she sees what you've recorded there. So whatever you do tonight, make sure that that gets logged on Basecamp. The paths offer you opportunities for developing public speaking skills. That's why I came here in the first place, to brush up on that. To practice leadership, because you can be a sergeant at arms or VPM or Toastmaster of the evening or any of the other roles. The 2 roles that I'm dead scared of are timekeeper and Toastmaster of the evening, because I don't have an attention span of more than 5 seconds. So I always lose track of where I am. But we need to be able to learn all of those things to build our leadership skills and to build confidence. And I keep telling people that they need to come and join Toastmasters because you've got all of these great opportunities to develop. Each pathway has a slightly different focus to help achieve your specific goals. And I've lost my place again on this darn thing. I should actually leave it and just speak to the thing. It just makes it easier. All right. So, I'm going to spend a bit of time talking about each of the pathways. For those of you who are on persuasive influence, you will know how many are doing persuasive influence. 1 there, 2, right? So you will know that this is about being an innovative communicator and leader. It's about creating innovative solutions to challenges, learning to effectively change in communities, etc., etc. The visionary communication, share skills to share information effectively, plan communications and create innovative solutions, and grow into strategic communication and leader. Who's doing visionary communication? Got two of those here, and Sean. Right. So what happens is, I actually enjoy level 1 the most, because that's where you can, it's like when you play for the 50, you can give a ball to the lock to kick at post or to kick whatever he wants to, You can play scrum half even if you're normally prop. You can do whatever you want. In level 1 you can experiment and you can actually, so we've got some doing his icebreaker tonight. All the fun stuff happens in level 1. It starts becoming work from level 2 and level 3. By level 3 you're really into some serious work, and level 4 and 5 just feels a bit like a grind. So I kind of prefer the first 2 levels, and I can still bear the third, but then you feel like you need to complete the pathway. So for those of you who are beyond your level 3s, I'm with you, and we just need to get that done. And my goal is to finish my one pathway this year, and to actually get halfway through the second that I'm registered for and that I'm working on. What are your goals? Have you considered that? Have you considered why you're doing this? Each of us is here tonight for a reason. Some like the chocolates, some like the people. But in terms of your career, you also need to think in terms of your career, in terms of standing in the community, what it is you want to achieve. And if you go back over the past 6 months, the past year since you've joined, I'm sure we all had a story to tell where we were called into a situation and we were able to give account of ourselves in a much better way than we used to previously. So that is part of what you need to do. I didn't know it, but apparently we can get employer letters. So we can actually give your HR function, your learning and development teams, we can give them feedback on requests. So Zuka knows all about that. So if you need letters like that, ask her about it. I know nothing about that, but she can help you with that. You can get an email from the international president when you complete your pathway, a certificate of proficiency. So you can get all sorts of pins and badges on pathways, on base camp if you're interested in that. So what I want you to write down as I conclude this is, why are you doing this? So you can flip your program over, and I want each of you. Oh, there's stuff on the back. Just hoping there's nothing on the back. If you've got somewhere to write, otherwise do it
as well. The page here.
Yeah, otherwise do it on your phone. But I want you each to write down tonight why you're doing this. Because when we close off for the half year in December, when everything shuts down in South Africa, I want you to go back to that and to add to that and say, am I on the pathway of achieving this, or why am I doing this? And I think each of us knows why we're here. So write that down to remind yourself. Ask yourself why you chose the path, and perhaps what the next path is that you want to work on, and register for that path. I want to challenge you that you actually start working on the second one as soon as you've completed level 2. And thirdly, I want you to think about what you will do for new members. We've actually been blessed by a couple of people joining us. So we have a number of faces around the table that we didn't have here a year ago. We've got some new people joining, hopefully, encouraging people to join. What are we doing to make their lives easier? And what are we doing to grow the membership? Because to get to our goals, we also need team members. So going back to your base camp, go and lock your stuff tonight, select your next pathway, and remind yourself, why am I doing this? And don't make excuses when you get here and the evening looks as good as it does. Mr.
Thank you, Pieter. It says on the program that you're doing the evaluation.